Satnam and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your channel for grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Welcome to mini readings. I have not done a broadcast like this in a while, so it's kind of a rare event now, I guess. But we're going to do some mini readings here live on YouTube. The way to get on the list is to send $25. There is a link in the description of the video, and it'll take you straight to the payment link, and then I'll get a notification, and then I'm going to add your name to the list as soon as I get that notification. And we already have a list going, and I usually do about 10 mini readings per session. We'll see how far we get, but so far we've got Anastasia on the list, we've got Amber, we've got Diane, we've got Susan, and we've got Tara. So if you are here and I called your name, we're going to go in that order. And the way it's going to work is I'll call your name and I'll tell you to put your question in the chat. So make sure you have your question ready. You can choose for us to look at your astrology if you want. You can choose for us to look at your human design. You can choose a tarot and oracle reading. And if you do, when you put up your question on the screen, make sure to also put in the information of your birth details if you want me to pull up your chart. Other than that, that is how this works. I'm very excited. Before we dive in, so Anastasia, I would say get your question ready to post into the chat. And when it is ready, just go ahead and post it in the chat. And after that will be Amber. So before we dive into the readings, I do want to say again, thank you for being a part of this amazing community. I want to invite you to join our global community, which is our own private space where we get to connect with each other. I host events there as well. I host the Starseed membership and all of my courses on there as well. It's an amazing space that we have for us. So come join us. It's free. There's a global community that's free, and then the other courses and stuff are paid for programming, but either way you get access to the community just by joining. So that's exciting. I always want to invite people to that. I do also want to invite you to the Starseed membership, because in the Starseed membership we move through the astrological year together. I am this close to submitting my book, and it'll take hopefully not too long, maybe like a week, maybe 2 weeks, to get the book approved, and then I'll be able to make it available for you guys to purchase. But it's Seasons and Stargates, your annual astrology guide for 2025 and 2026. And I have all the astrology for the entire year. So I honestly can't wait for that book to come out. It's coming out a little bit late. However, it is better late than sorry. And we have a whole year ahead of us still of astrology that is completely valuable information. So excited to share that with you guys as well. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos, and download my free moon astrology guide, which is going to tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report, which is amazing. And people absolutely love to get in their inbox every Wednesday. And last but not least, I would love to invite you to our Sedona retreat happening June 5th through the 8th of 2025. We are going to be embarking on an amazing journey through the vortexes of Sedona. We're going to be hiking. We're going to be drumming, going to shamanic journeys. There's going to be sound baths. We're going to have a cacao ceremony. We're just going to immerse ourselves in the magic of Sedona. This is a great opportunity for you to practice some self-care, to give yourself something beautiful to experience. We have people signing up. It is amazing. There are only 15 spots max available. And so please don't wait to put in your application. The application is super, super easy to fill out. I just want to know a little bit about you, and then I'll send you the invitation to join and to officially save your spot. But I can't freaking wait, you guys. I am so excited. If you've never been to Sedona, oh my God, this is one of the best ways to go because you get guided through all of the hikes. You don't have to worry about like, where do we go, you know? So I hope to see you there. If you want to apply, click the apply button and fill out this questionnaire. It's going to give you also a little bit of information that is important to know about the retreat. And then when I officially invite you, I'll send you all of the official information about actually signing up. So I can't wait for that. I hope to see you there. And I will now dive into our readings. I saw that Rebecca got on the list, so I'm going to add Rebecca's name real quick. Rebecca's after Tara. Okay, so Anastasia is first, and I think she put up her question. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat as we prepare for this. So here we go, new natal chart. And I see that she says she wants astrology. Okay. Hello, Diane. Welcome in. Hello, Anita. Welcome in. Hello, Ashley. Oh, you're here. I love it. Hello, Mary. Welcome, welcome. Sticks and Stones. Thank you for being here. And you know what? You can totally just sit and watch, and you're going to learn a lot because I love to teach while I do readings. That is one of my major gifts. Hello, Mystic Light Weaver. Welcome in. Anastasia is here. Hello. Charity, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Okay, here we go. Our first question. Hello, I would like an astrology reading. Here's my information. And so what is your question? When you say I want an astrology reading, what do you want to ask about the astrology? And while you do that, while you answer that question, I'm going to input your information into the chart here. So I do ask that you have a question ready because you're going to get a much better reading if you actually ask a question, even if the question is, if you've never had an astrology reading before, you just want me to look at your natal chart. Do you want me to look at like current transits, progressions? When you ask your question, I will know what to choose based off of the astrology. So that is what I ask if you are getting a reading tonight. All right, we've got 5:30 a.m. So a general reading of your natal chart, the transits. What is it that you want to know? Just basic natal chart information? We can do that. I just need to know before we begin. And I'm almost ready. Okay, so we've got Montreal. Hello, Rebecca. And I will let's see if we put Canada. If that works there, it looks like it does. All right, March 19th, 1976, 5:30 a.m. All right, we'll click go. Here's the chart that we are looking at. Okay, great. So here's your natal chart. We're going to focus on this. So what do we want to look at when we're looking at a natal chart? There's some basic information that is important to know. So for example, the sun, the moon, the rising. I'll go over each of these and then you tell us in the chat how much this resonates. So you have your sun in Pisces. I love that your sun is at 28 degrees. I think that is a very evolved soul. This is somebody who has already kind of mastered this energy, has chosen to come here to possibly share those beautiful gifts. You're also a Pisces rising, which is a very compassionate energy. So sun in Pisces, Pisces rising, Venus in Pisces, Mercury in Pisces. There's a lot of Pisces in your chart, and that makes you a very kind of loving, sensitive, compassionate being. And people see this in you. They recognize this in you. With a sun in the first house, you really came here to focus on yourself. Maybe you came here to have like an experience of like what it would be like to just enjoy being here. Not necessarily too much to do, but just enjoy being here. I am getting that message for some reason for you with this placement. But either way, it's an old soul, it's an evolved soul that is here. And I would say that it either is you're here to have some fun and enjoy the ride, or you're here because you have a very specific purpose. Now, everybody has a purpose because we all have like a north node. And so let's look at that for you. Your north node is in the sign of Scorpio. Your south node is in the sign of Taurus. The north node is in the 8th house of Scorpio, and the south node is in the 2nd house of Taurus. So what is north node Scorpio? Well, this tells us what you came here to do. You came here to take risks. You came here to like get your hands dirty. You are not meant to stay where you feel safe and secure. I am so sorry, but that will not work for you. So the more that you can let go of the need for everything to be like safe, the more that you're going to step into your purpose. And yes, that takes a lot of courage. Yes, that takes a lot of kind of not willpower, but trust in the universe. Your moon is making a conjunction to the north node. Your moon is in Scorpio, like I mentioned, and Uranus is right here too. So this is what makes you unique. That you're an old soul that came here to get your hands dirty, like maybe one last time, honestly. Moon with the north node, this is going to fluctuate. This energy is going to fluctuate. It's going to move. It's going to shift. It's going to always be exciting. The adventure never ends. But the tendency is to stay where you feel safe. And so you want to take a look at that, and you want to make sure that you are not staying where you feel safe, that you are challenging yourself to grow and expand, to face your shadows, to heal at deep levels, because that is ultimately going to make you feel more like you're in your purpose. Hello, Shauna. Welcome in. Your Venus is what you truly desire. So you truly desire compassion. You truly desire spirituality. People in your life, relationships in your life, if they don't have a spiritual side to them, you will feel like devoid. You will feel like not fulfilled in relationship. And that is very important for you to know. You have a lot of water in your chart, which means that you're also very intuitive. You have like a grand trine thing going on in water. It enhances your intuition. And your Mars is at 0 degrees of Cancer, and 0 degrees of any sign is like a portal. It's like everything and nothing at the same time. So how do you get what you want? You find your way to the nurturing aspect of it. You follow your feelings. You follow your intuition. You make sure that you are checking in with the space of emotions to help guide your decision making and your willpower. Now, Mars in Cancer doesn't feel the best, but she says, so far I am spot on. Mars in Cancer doesn't feel the best because he would rather be in Capricorn, which is a more goal-focused, action-oriented kind of energy. Cancer is more like home and family and just feeling like nurtured and nurturing. But it also has a gift, and it also has a beautiful frequency, which is the emotional realm. And emotions can be very, very, very enlightening when we listen to them and we allow them to give us information. Saturn in Cancer. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with Saturn in Cancer. That's crazy. Okay, that's actually really crazy that I've never seen somebody with Saturn in Cancer. But Saturn in Cancer, again, more water. So a lot of, you're very, 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 very emotional. There's a lot of emotional energy for you. In fact, you're ruled by Neptune, which is the planet that rules Pisces, one of the emotional spaces. And Neptune in your chart is actually in Sagittarius. So inviting you on an adventure to follow your intuition, but it takes you on an adventure and it helps you grow and expand when you trust that intuition. Saturn is going to teach you the most difficult lessons, and the most difficult lessons are in that space of emotion. And it could be that part of the lesson for you is something connected to your mother. There's a definite connection there. One last thing, Chiron and Jupiter in Aries. The wound that you came here to heal in this lifetime is your sense of self, to understand who I am and why am I here. And it's a big deal because Jupiter is right there with Chiron magnifying that energy. So that's part of you learning who you are and why you're here, and finding the courage to be yourself no matter what means you got to take risks. So that was Anastasia's reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. Next, we have Amber. So Amber, please put up your question. So we've got Amber, then Diane, then Susan, or I saw you have a different name here. That's fine. Anita. And then it's Tara, and then it's Rebecca. And if you want to get on the list, there's a link in the description. You pay the $25, and then you will be on the list. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Amber, she gave us her birth info. Question. Pertaining to feeling like I'm in this major shift and 2 years into an awakening, been doing a lot of deep inner work in a place of letting go of old energies and wondering what is next. Got it. All right, let's enter in the new information. Thank you, Anastasia, by the way. Hopefully that helped you. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Okay, 2/16/76. Time 7:30 p.m. Sacramento. Okay, so for this question, what we're going to do is look at your secondary progressions. Because the secondary progressions are going to help us understand what phase of life you are in, what is the story. Hello, Stacy. What is the story in the backdrop that is going on for you? And that can give you insight into the direction where to go next. So I'm going to reread your question. Feeling like I'm in a major shift, 2 years into an awakening, been doing a lot of deep inner work, and you're in a place of letting go of old energies and wondering what is next. Okay. So right now, your progressed sun is in the sign of Aries, and it's being really magnified because you're somebody who also has that Jupiter Chiron conjunction that we just saw in Anastasia's chart. You guys were born close, like in the same year, maybe? Yeah. March and February. Oh, holy shit. Like Amber was born in March and Anastasia was born, in February, and Anastasia was born in March. That's why you guys have Chiron and Jupiter conjunct. Crazy, right? Okay. So the sun is highlighting your wound. It is bringing up, a month apart. It's bringing up that wound right now. So yes, you're going to feel like this is something that is important right now. So healing of the self, what I said for Anastasia applies to you. Your core wound is to heal your sense of self. Like, who am I? And why am I here? So with the sun kind of right around these degrees, that's going to be highlighted because the sun illuminates. Your progressed moon is in the sign of Gemini, but it's at 29 degrees. And for the last 2.5 years, it's been in Gemini, but it's getting ready to change signs, which means that the energy will shift, the theme will shift. So we'll look at what we're going to be focusing on for the next 2.5 years, and I'll show you when that's going to happen. So for the last 2.5 years, you have been in a phase where it's called the waxing crescent moon. I would like to ask that you guys wait to put your question in the chat until I actually call your name. That'll make it easier for me so I can communicate with the person I'm doing the reading for in the moment. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so what is going to happen is during that waxing crescent phase, what happens is that you are building. There was a new cycle that began, like it was a little while ago, but it was close enough that it wasn't that long ago. And I love going back and finding out when it was that new cycle started, because that's going to give you insight into the theme of the new cycle. And this new cycle that happens in progressions happens, and it starts on a new moon, and then it's a new 28.5 year cycle. So this is the cycle that you're on. New moon in Aries in your 7th house, which started in 2018. So right up until 2018, you were in the balsamic phase, which meant you were letting go, releasing, clearing away things that no longer served you in your life so that you could get ready for the new cycle. It is a cycle where you're, again, that theme of Aries is coming up. You're learning about yourself. You're taking action. This is an initiation. It is a new beginning. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So what you're essentially beginning is a whole new hero's journey where eventually you're going to learn how your role in relationships, because this was a new moon that happened in the 7th house. So it's related to relationships, but it's related to your role in relationships. And it could have been a whole new relationship that actually started during that time. And maybe it's related to a specific relationship, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. The seed was planted in 2018, in September 11th, that's crazy date, of 2018. And since then, the seeds were starting to sprout, and your job was to water those seeds. Now I'm going to fast forward to today. The moon is now in Gemini, getting ready to enter into Cancer. So while you've been working on this aspect of life where it's about communicating your truth, integrating spiritually in powerful ways, and also finding your way towards showing up for the world, stepping up into more responsibility and into a space of career and life path and mission. Now, on May 12th of this year, the moon enters Cancer. So the theme changes for the next 2.5 years. You are focusing on home and family, but not just that. It could be, yes, literally home and family. But what it is more than anything, when I look at Cancer energy, I think it's home is where the heart is. So finding the way back to your heart is the next step. And it is showing up like this in the world, showing up in a nurturing way, showing up in like your true emotions, not being afraid to feel, letting things flow, allowing things to fall and land into place on their own, not forcing anything, trusting the intuition of your emotions. That was a question too. Been in a 10-year relationship and wondering if he can't go with me to this new phase. You already know the answer to that. We always already know the answer to that. Mm. I would encourage you to look up your human design and see what is your type, but then also what is your authority? Because in order to make important decisions, you need to know your authority. And so the phase is going to happen whether you're in the relationship or not. But the truth is that for someone to, right, join you on the ride, they have to kind of be aware, have awareness, and understand what's going on. And a lot of times what happens is if there's someone in the relationship that is growing, right, and evolving, it will trigger the other person. It will trigger you. Like, it's like you both have to grow together, you know? And if you sense that that's not happening, then that's your answer. You know what I mean? You're new to human design. You can just go to like myhumandesign.com, pull it up, and just look at the type and the strategy and the authority. And you'll get a lot of information from that. And you can, like, once you know your type, strategy, and authority, literally like just Google it and see what it tells you about each of those things. Those are like kind of standard information, so it's not difficult to find. That would be my recommendation. But yes, it's time you're getting ready to enter a space of listening to your heart, listening to your emotions, trusting that you're at the right place at the right time, and eventually, halfway through the 2.5-year cycle that you're moving into, you'll have to make adjustments. You'll have to clear what doesn't serve you and make space for what does, and like change if you need to change, realign yourself if you need to realign yourself. Because you're going to enter into the first quarter square, which is all about you making sure you're staying in alignment with that original intention. Manifesting generator, sacral authority. Yeah, so your body has basically already told you the answer to the question about the relationship. You know it already in your body. The body doesn't lie, and you have to listen to your body all the time. That is the part of you that is what you can rely on, that you have to rely on to answer all the questions that you have. So there you go. I hopefully that gave you some insight. Thank you, Amber. Okay, so next we're going to go to Diane. After that, we have Susan. After that, we have Tara, and then Rebecca. And if you want to get on the list to get a mini reading tonight, make sure you send $25. The link is in the description of the video, and then I can add you to the list. All right, Diane, here we go. Diet is related to our reincarnated purpose. Wait, did the question start earlier than this? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And that I should only eat food that is directly in conjunction with my purpose. So, okay, I'm looking at my human design in this lifetime. What should my diet be? Okay, so let's... Okay, first of all, I'm going to pull up your chart. Question about diet. All right, we got November 30th. Time 11:03. I will say, 11:03 a.m. I will say that this is not a focus of what I actually read in human design. So, but I can tell a lot of information from looking at the actual chart. So that's why we're going to pull it up. Okay, country, USA. Okay, I believe that is correct. All right. Did I already have your chart in here? Now I'm all confused. Digestion. Consecutive taste. Okay, well, it's all right. Okay. So the question was, diet is related to a reincarnated purpose and that I should only eat food that is directly in conjunction with my purpose. So I'm looking at my human design in this lifetime. What should the diet be? Hello, Charity. Welcome in. Okay. So it's consecutive taste. You have cave selective environment too? Interesting. And a strong sense of smell. All right. So basically, as I understand it, let me put this here for a second. As I understand it, when it comes to diet, the diet is, yes, it's related to the purpose, but what it actually is, it's the best way that you're going to feed your body. And so if you follow right the digestion in the body, then for your type of body, for your design, then you will be essentially helping your body maintain like its health, its strength, its like clarity, when you are, trying to live out your purpose. So basically, like if you think about what the word consecutive means, it's like there is like one thing and then the next. It's like one thing follows the next thing. So essentially, this is a type of digestion that talks about consuming one food or one type of food at a time. And you can eat lots of it, or you can eat like less of it. But it's like you have the ability, like you shouldn't worry about the fact that you always want to eat the same thing. Like one type of food for a long time. Okay, my husband has this type of diet, and he freaking loves eating meat. And I have a different type of digestion. So for me, it doesn't really matter what I eat. It's like what inspires me, I can eat that. So my digestive system can like digest more varieties of food, and I don't necessarily have to eat the same thing every day. I can if I want to, but I don't have to. So for you, this means that you have to, you can. Like when we discovered this about my husband, we were like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Cause like he has to have meat with like every meal. And I'm like, dude, cause to me, meat gets heavy. But that's why I'm like, everybody's got their own way of eating. So it is important to allow yourself to do that. Like your body will choose like the one thing you want to eat. So it's like you can eat the same thing for every meal. And you can eat a lot of it. You can eat a little of it. It's like whatever feels right for your body. You also want to, so basically this talks about like single food eating, this talks about like using like simple ingredients, not mixing too many things together in a plate, because then you won't digest it so well. So so basically what that essentially does is it kind of gives you the insight that you don't have to worry about the fact that you like eating one type of food, that you actually should let yourself do that, because your body will function better than if you're like putting too many different things in your body at the same time. So hopefully that brought you some insight, and then your body will feel better, and then your everything else will feel better, right? Because you'll feel more nourished, you'll feel more healthy, you'll feel more in your element. So there you go. Your body also, on your design side, you have 2 left arrows, which essentially say that your body, your physical body, is very strategic, meaning it needs routine. So this is part of that. Like eating one thing that you choose, if you want to have that for every meal, like the one thing, like that is completely normal and actually healthier for you than trying to do the other stuff. And your body needs that like constant routine to feel healthy, but it also needs to feel like it's doing something. So staying active in the body is really, really also another healthy thing for you. Okay, awesome. I'm glad that that helped. Okay, so our next question is from Anita. We are ready for your question, Anita. After Anita, we have Tara, and after Tara, we have Rebecca, and then the list is open if you guys want to get a reading. And you guys, while we're waiting for Anita's question, on Sunday, we have the new moon in Taurus. I did the whole astrology video for the new moon in Taurus. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, please do. It's a crazy, this week is crazy. Although today I feel better. On top of it, okay, get this, right? I was doing that video and I'm talking about all this like crazy freaking energy that's going on. And then I got my period. I'm like, great. Like it just got better. It just keeps getting better, you know? Like Mama O used to say, show me how it gets better, which is really funny, but that's the kind of week that it is. But then I actually am really excited. So we're going to be doing our ceremony that evening. I'll be playing music, doing an Akashic reading. It's going to be amazing. Please come check it out. Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then also on that day, I am going to be releasing a new podcast episode that I recorded with Christopher Witecki. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's like an amazing astrologer. I was following him for a while. And okay, so we're waiting for Anita's question right now. Make sure you put your question in the chat so you don't hold all the readings up. So hopefully you're not having any connection issues or anything like that. If not, we'll go to Tara, but I'll give it a couple more moments, Anita. Okay, so basically what essentially I'm so excited about is because I've made this beautiful connection with Christopher Witecki. He's amazing. He has developed like his own. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Anita. Okay, we're gonna get to it right now. He developed his own astrology system, and it's freaking phenomenal. He gave me a reading. We did a trade. And he gave me a reading. I gave him a reading and was really interested in the gene keys. And yeah, the podcast was we had so much fun, but it's premiering on Sunday. So make sure that you check that out. Okay. Anita, here we go. March 20th. What do I need to focus on to learn how to use my purpose for the greatest service of the whole? Let me think about that for a second. Trying to feel like, which type of chart I would pull for this question. What do I need to focus on to learn how to use my purpose for the greatest service of the whole? How to use my purpose. Which system would best fit? You can, Tonya. You have to send $25 to the link in the description, and then I'll add your name to the list. What do I need to learn to focus? What do I need to focus on to learn how to use my purpose? To learn how to use my purpose. I think the question itself is like boggling my mind. How to use my purpose for the greatest service. How to use my purpose. So basically, so here's what I want to say about this question, and then I'm waiting for my answer to come right now. So you are your purpose. So what the best way, what you can do is learn who you are, do what you love, right? Follow your strategy and your authority, because you are the purpose. And when you embody your own unique self, that is how you step into service. So I actually had a session this today with someone who was asking me, like, they were feeling that there's something off and they want to know what their purpose is. And a lot of people have the question, right, of the purpose. And I was telling her that we are learning to transition from thinking that the purpose, so the purpose would be the what, right? Like if you were like purpose is like, can translate to like, what is my purpose, right? What am I supposed to be here? And then there's another aspect of like the how, which like you're asking how, right? So the how is basically the what will come, right? The purpose will unfold itself when you actually focus on the how first, which is why I love this question. But the how is to be yourself. Like the answer to the question is how to use my purpose for the greatest service. You live your design fully. So we are actually going to look at your human design. So are you familiar? First of all, let me ask you this. Are you familiar with your human design chart? I'd like to do the one that you're least familiar with, but as we wait, hello, Jim, I'll pull up this just in case. But I know sometimes answers are delayed and stuff like that. So in the meantime, we got March 20th, 19. Yeah, the question is like, you don't use your purpose, you are your purpose. Because yeah, Rebecca says the purpose is not about, in the Gene Keys, it's also really important. The purpose is not about doing, it's about being. So that is always the question. Like we need to transition. Not really. Okay, great. 538. We need to transition into recognizing that we are the purpose. So when you look at like something like your human design, it'll tell you when you're not in your purpose. And that's why I want to look at that, because it's a better like strategic way of like knowing whether you're in purpose or not. And then the what literally shows up automatically. 1738. Country. Okay. March. Just make sure I got it all right. Yeah. Okay. So you're a manifesting generator and you have sacral authority. Being a manifesting generator means you have plenty of energy to do the things that you want to do. The key is to do what you love, to follow your convictions, to literally do only what you want to do, not what anybody else wants you to do. You have like pretty much all the integration channels and a lot of in individual circuitry as well. So you literally are here to do you. Like, you know, when they say you do you, boo, like that is literally what you're here to do. That's your purpose. So you're a 3-5 profile, which means that you are also living a life. It's like an adventure. And the best thing that you can do is literally learn to laugh at yourself, because life is a freaking cosmic joke. It's not, none of it is real, as Robert Grant says. However, look at all these open centers. Oh my God. Open solar plexus, open ajna, open head. So I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But you live life through trial and error. Like, you are supposed to like do something that just like calls your attention, that like you want to do. It's for you, not for anybody else. People might look at you and be like, why are you doing that? It's like, well, because I wanted to. And they're like, but why? It doesn't matter why. Because it literally, the answer is because I wanted to. So as if you follow your convictions, if you have deep intuition, deep wisdom that you need to trust. So what we tend to do is we go against everything that we are. The 5 line means, so that trial and error process is never going to stop. You're going to always keep moving through life. It's kind of like you're discovering things along the way. It becomes really just like, okay, let's see what happens next. Like, fuck around and find out. But it should be fun. But sometimes it's not, because then you make a really gnarly mistake and then you have to like fix it. So, but essentially your soul chose to live a full life. A full life. And in order to have a full life, you have to have a lot of experiences. You are like an initiator. You came here to initiate, but not in the sense that you are here to do something. Like, once you have like an idea or an inspired thought, you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. Yes, you follow what you want to do, but you give your body a moment to respond first, because that's the strategy of the manifesting generator. It's to respond. So as long as you keep responding to life, you're not like trying to force things to happen. You're allowing the natural process, the natural feeling in your body to like respond to things, and the body will tell you yes or no. So that's how you know. When you feel frustrated, you're out of alignment. When you feel joy and satisfaction, you're in alignment. It's literally that simple, but we like to complicate things. For example, you might feel like you can't focus. You might feel like you can't hold on to thoughts or memories, like you don't remember things. And so a lot of times throughout your life, you may have felt like you were stupid, because you are not meant to actually remember information like that. You are meant to be an open mind, an open channel, be inspired by many different things, many different ideas, other people's ideas, like channel that information. But you're here to be wise about using the mind. And you're actually here to show what it's like to actually fully live in your body. And as long as you're listening to that sacral response, which is going to be like, or you're going to be in alignment. You will always be in alignment. And as long as you follow that like deep intuition and those like convictions in you, you will like initiate your own journey naturally by design. You have the willpower to do the things that you want to do. You have the staying power to do the things you want to do. As long as you're doing what you love, it'll come through. It'll naturally come out of you, your purpose. So going back to the question that you asked, what to focus on to learn how to use your purpose, you need to focus on listening to your body, following your convictions, listening to the intuition, and get out of your head. Also, don't trust the emotions too much. That's not the place where your journey is focused on. You will feel other people's emotions and you will like take them into your freaking soul and then magnify them, and you're going to think that they are your emotions, and they won't be. Also, you're not going to function really well when you're under stress and pressure. And if you're around people that are stressed, you're going to take on their stress. So you have to be careful about that. You have to find ways to clear the stress, to find calming. You're not meant to deal with stress in this life, which sounds kind of like, what? I know. Human design changes the way we see everything. That's what it's doing. One reading at a time. We need to change the way we understand how the world works, because we got it wrong. It's not in the head. Nobody has mental authority. You need to be fully in your body. And when you have an idea or are inspired by something, take a moment and let your body respond to it, and let your body tell you yes or no. Just because you thought it was a great idea doesn't mean you have to do it. Does your body want to do it? Does your body lean into it? That is going to be the key for you. So that's what I would focus on. This is the how. The how is you live your design. The purpose will naturally unfold. So, there we go. That feels complete. Okay. Thank you, Anita. And next we have Tara. So please put up your question, Tara. And we go until the list runs out, and then I go off. So Rebecca's after Tara. So we don't have anybody after Rebecca. So if anyone gets on the list between now and Rebecca's reading, then you'll be right after Rebecca. Here we go. Tara's question, human design. Okay, awesome, Anita. I'm grateful for that. All right, let's get it in here. Date 7/12/75. Time 12:31. How familiar are you with your human design, and what question do you want to know about it? Okay, 7/12, 7/5, 12/5. Okay. So what do you want to know? Do you know, first of all, like, I guess, do you know much about it? If you don't know much about it, then I'll just go general. And I'll wait for the question, but in the meantime, I'll just start talking. So, for the answer. So, okay, you are also a manifesting generator, just like Anita. You have a defined sacral. It's kind of very active. So you, again, also have a lot of energy to do the things that you love. So everybody that has a defined sacral, if you're doing the things that you're passionate about, that you've responded to, that feel right in your body, like if you have the sacral authority, then you're on the right track. But when you're forcing yourself to do things that you don't love, that's when you're going to get off track. Frustration is literally, hey Dawn, frustration is literally the gauge to tell you wrong way. It's the stop sign. It's not the, oh, we can do hard things. Yeah, we can do hard things, but only when they have meaning for us. Only when they're going to like help us. Not when they're going to freaking kill us, like damage our health and shit. Because according to human design, if you don't follow your like strategy and your authority, then you're literally damaging your health. It's insane, but it's true. The list is opened on. So basically what we are looking at here is a manifesting generator with the strategy to respond and emotional authority. So unlike Anita, you have emotional authority. And here's how this works. Your emotions go through waves, cycles. The waves go up, and that's when you feel really good, life is amazing. And then the wave goes down, and then you don't feel so good, life doesn't feel amazing. And then the wave reaches a space of neutrality. And then it starts again. It goes high, it goes low, it goes neutral. High, low, like over and over and over. And it depends on like your own unique cycle, whether the wave is, long or short, or you spend more time on the high end of the wave or the low end of the wave. It's like there's addictive behavior that happens, right, with emotions. So like, and it's so funny, but we tend to get addicted to the low end of the wave. We hate it, but we're like addicted to it. So what we need to do is find more neutral. Eventually, I feel like this energy can balance itself out, but you need to start really paying attention to it, because emotions can rule you if you're not in awareness of how they work for you. So what you're looking for is you will never have clarity in the moment. In fact, you're like super emotional. You're like, you provoke people. You want to provoke the emotions in others. Because you want to see where they're at. You want to like be like, oh yeah, show me who you are. So you like provoke people. It's not bad. It's just the nature of how it works. It's this channel right here, channel of emoting, a design of moodiness. Everything is about how you feel. That's how important it is. Your entire like life revolves around your feelings. So if you reject your feelings, or if you reject yourself when you're feeling high, or mostly when you're feeling low, you're rejecting a literal part of yourself that is the most important thing for you to learn. People with emotional authority are here to guide the way into the future. And I say that because, especially people with this channel, because the 55th gate is where the mutation is going to happen in 2027. The raves are coming in. These are the new type in human design. And they will open up a whole new way of being in the world. They will show us a new way. But you guys are like practicing what that's like. And it has to do with like instant manifestation through emotions. So if you make decisions from the high, you don't have all the information. So you should not make decisions from the high. You need to gather the information. That is going to take time to get through the wave. There's an aspect of time. Then when you're in the low, you don't want to make decisions in the low, because again, you only have part of the information. You don't have the whole spectrum. When you get back to neutral, that's when you have more clarity. Those moments of neutrality are the clarity that you need to make important decisions. So you make decisions from the neutral space. In the meantime, you need to just be with the wave. You need to just be with the high, and you need to just be with the low. And you need to not worry about whether it's good or bad or right or wrong. Like it is what it is. So if there's anybody here in the chat that has emotional authority, how have you learned to move through it. And honestly, it's like you just got to let yourself experience it and feel it. You also have, it's very important that you also at the same time that you stay present, that you live in the now, that you focus, in the moment is also where you're going to feel like you are able to use really the energy, your life force energy. It's in the moment, it's in the now. So the more that you can be present with everything you're feeling, the better. The more you're going to feel in alignment. There's a part of you that's kind of like a hermit. And then there's another part of you that is kind of like a heretic. And so people will project onto you different things, expectations. They'll place expectations on you that may or may not be true, or that you may or may not be able to fulfill. But especially when you don't fulfill them, people hate you. So people either love you or hate you. And because of that, you tend to be more reserved. And you tend to not be like fully out there in the world. And you have that hermit side of you. So you are a leader and people sense that, and you do hold a lot of power. You just need to learn to wield the power. You need to learn to own the power. And that part of that is, understanding that people are going to project onto you, and that it's normal that they do that. Like, you can't get mad at people for doing that, but you can set healthy boundaries if you need to. So, Dawn says me, she has emotional authority. Ashley says emotional authority, girl over here. I am learning that I reside much longer in the low wave than the high, but my high wave is super intense, high vibes. Super intense, but super quick and high, but also being so much more aware of these waves, and now can come out of the low a little bit quicker. Great. So thank you for that, because it's important. Like, people that have the emotional wave, you have to understand, like, there's nothing wrong with you. You have to feel. You came here to feel. It won't ever stop. Yes, not deny the lows or reject them. Yeah. You're welcome, Tara. Okay, let's go to Rebecca, and Rebecca is the last one on our list. Mary says, I have emotional authority and it's so important to wait until you get back to neutral. Yeah, you want to like, but it's hard because when you're in emotion, you kind of get lost in the emotion. Yeah, you don't want to get lost in the emotion. You want to feel it and let it bring you information. And then when you're neutral, you're like, okay, I listened to you for the whole time. There's a part of me that was observing, even though I was like losing my shit. There was a part of me. No, you got to like be in it. And that's the hardest part. Cause like when you're in it, it's hard to control the actions, right? Cause the emotions take over. So you have to learn to become the observer of the emotion. The enjoyer of the wave. Ooh, that's a cool way to put that. All right, Rebecca. And I believe that is everyone on the list. I know it's too funny. But we shall check again. Okay. Yeah, I think I got everybody on the list. Okay, emotional authority here. Yeah, Rebecca too. Yeah, I thought that. Emotional authority. It's hard to feel the emotions first before acting on them. It's a work in progress. That is very, very true. But is it true that with this awareness, you can come out of lows more quickly and less often? It just depends on which emotional wave makes up your design. There's different types of emotional waves, depending on the gates that are defined, the channels that are defined, and the gates that form those channels into your solar plexus center. because you might not ever be able to come out of them more quickly because you might feel them more intensely by nature, which is fine. But people are saying that it's possible. So it depends on you and your experience. Sometimes you just have to learn to, you do have to learn to ride the wave, the emotional wave, and be, and without trying to change anything about it, just feeling it, right? But yeah, but people are saying that with the awareness is changing their experience of it, which is important to ask people that have emotional authority. I don't. So I can tell you like what I've learned and let it bleed. But the people with emotional authority can tell you what it feels like, right? That's why I asked them to share in the chat. They know. All right. Transit reading. Any other specific question, Rebecca? Okay. Let's take a look. Well, it's Taurus season, and there's a focus on your life purpose this season. The sun will shine on your Mars. The sun will shine on your North Node. It's in the 5th house. This is a time for you to like fully embrace your creativity. It's in that creative space that you're going to feel the most alive, that you're going to feel the most, centered, that you're going to feel the most connected, the most in your purpose. This is completely a time for you to be in your creative space, however that looks for you. Sometimes it's, actually doing some kind of art. Sometimes it's like just letting the creativity guide you to like, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? Sometimes like my creativity comes out like even when I'm cooking, but there's an aspect of enjoyment. Like you should be enjoying yourself. I hope that you're enjoying yourself. I've been working through some death and trying to figure out what the meaning of it all is. I have the 24th Jinki that comes with this new moon. Yeah, the new moon is going to happen on that Jinki and you have it. So, yeah, this is the ultimate, that right, what I was talking about, it's the ultimate addiction. It's the shadow of addiction. And we were just talking about emotional authority and like getting addicted to the low, because it's like in that space, somehow you just feel like, more aligned for some reason. So let's take a look at what else is happening for you. There's a dark moon right now, and the dark moon is in Aries, and it's passing over all of, the sun, Mercury, Venus, and it can feel dark. It can feel heavy, right? And it's a dark moon in the 4th house for you, which is the house of home and family. It's passing over Chiron in the next, today, tomorrow, and into Sunday. It's highlighting for you like your soul, your mind. It's like affecting your mind. It's affecting your desires. And the key, dark moon in Aries is like looking at ourselves. Very important. And anything that doesn't belong, like in the self-awareness, we have to let it go. And for you, that might be thought patterns that are not healthy, the North Node, Saturn, Venus conjunction right now is happening in your 3rd house, which is communication. So this year you're focusing on communicating. You're trying to find the spirit, the deeper, compassionate expression of who you are naturally. And when you do that, what you're going to find is that more truth shines through, and that is important. It is very important for you to right now speak your truth and tell your story and share your voice. And all of that is an important theme for you. There's also a whole new way of communicating and expressing that's coming through. And it's also asking you to trust your intuition about when to speak, right? Like the right timing to speak and share. Pluto is at 3 degrees. It's not quite yet within orb to your Jupiter, but I mean, it's close. And Jupiter magnifies everything it touches. So transformation for you right now, like that death and rebirth experience, death, transformation, and then rebirth experience for you, it's got this tone of, what are my values? Like new values emerging. What's more important to me now? Mars is opposing Pluto right now, and that's a very heavy thing. And this is like 2nd and 8th house, and 8th house is Scorpio and Taurus. So that energy is very strong for you. And the moon will be T-squaring. So it's like the 5th house of creativity. It's also the house of children, making T-square to the opposition between Mars and Pluto in your 2nd and 8th house. So it's the house of Leo, the house of Scorpio, the house of Taurus. And these are all fixed signs. So you're going to feel very dense inner, it's like an inner battle, like an inner tension that you have to pass through. You have to move through in your own way. It's like a challenge that needs to be resolved. That's what the squares are. So the new moon is the challenge to face yourself. The new moon is the challenge to face your fears, to push through if you need to use your strength, to use your power, but to also not get lost in the internal, like don't turn on yourself. Don't turn this power, this aggression, this like kind of violent potential against yourself, but use it to begin a new journey. The new moon in Taurus, a new journey that will bring you more stability and more security in your life. Directly opposing you're having a Pluto square Pluto right now, which is actually that would mean why that theme of death is coming up. Pluto square Pluto, right? That's happening too. And so for you, it's a grand cross. It's a grand square because the moon is going to be opposing Pluto. Pluto is going to be squaring Pluto, and then Pluto is going to be squaring Saturn in your chart, and then Saturn's opposing Pluto. So it's like a grand cross. And you have South Node Scorpio and Saturn in Scorpio. So there's just a deep lesson here. It's a deep lesson. And again, don't turn against yourself, but there's something you got to move through for sure. I can see it here in your chart. And I send you all the love and all the support that you need during this time that you're experiencing this theme loudly in your life. All right. Thank you. Okay, Dawn. Dawn is next. What is your question? Let me go back to here. And we'll wait to see what Dawn wants. She got on the list. Ooh, I love tarot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let us pull some cards. And this will be the last reading of the night. Hello, Jeanette. Welcome in. Oh, really? How fun. Oh my God, I love that you guys got together. How's everybody doing? Yes, definitely a strong bond. All right, what is coming up in the next month? Anything amazing? I think tarot. Yeah, I want to do tarot for you. All right, let's see. Tarot was so much fun, remember? Oh, I gotta take my tarot deck. I can't forget. We had our faculty meeting with Roberto. I actually call him Berto. I'm just kidding. He requested, I said, Roberto. No, what did I say? I called him something funny. And he was like, no, just call me Berto. Fucking hilarious. All right. So what does Dawn need to know right now? What is coming up the next month, if anything? Okay. First card. Anyways, we had the faculty meeting and he's like fully expecting me to bring my guitar. So here we go. Ooh, Four of Pentacles. Okay. So this guy is like holding on like really tight. Is holding on really, really tight. Normally this card normally represents like greed, but at a deeper level, the reason he's like holding on really tight is because he's afraid that there's not enough. Right? So there's a fear of there's not enough, so we're holding on really tight. That's the first card. I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal that information. I'll text you privately. The Lovers? Okay. Well, this holding on really tight has to do with a relationship. So I don't know if it's like an actual relationship or if it's the thought of a relationship or some kind of belief system. Holding on really tight to this idea, it's like an ideal, right? So the Lovers card, it's like, oh, that's the ideal. So it may not even have anything to do with a relationship, but there's an ideal. Holding on really tight to an ideal. Okay, this weird moth just flew in. Did you guys see that? Where did you come from? Like, you can go away now. I remember this last summer. The bugs. I'm going to keep pulling cards and the story will do not land on my face. You guys will see the weird side of Jai come out if some bug tries to land on my fucking face. Hello, Bernadine. Calling me out. Holy dude, what the fuck? See, now the cussing comes out because it's dawn. 5 of Pentacles? This is like feeling poor. Dude, this is like feeling lack. Like, it's like you're on the outside. It could also be you're on the outside looking in. And inside, everyone's happy, but you're outside. And it sucks. What is happening with you? I'm totally kidding. Oh, that one flew out. Huh. 9 of Cups. Okay. So, yeah. So far we got you're holding on really tight. I think it's the memory, right? I think it's a relationship. It's an ideal. So, but because you're holding on so tight to this ideal, this like idea or this higher like desire for something, it's almost like it's causing you that tightness, that constriction, which is also part of the 25th Jinki, by the way, shadow of constriction, is causing you to obviously attract more of the lack mentality or the lack energy, like feeling like I'm outside looking in, I'm an outsider, I don't belong, could be another message here. And all of it, there's like, you just make one little switch and it'll change. And that's this. It's like the Nine of Cups is literally like, it can represent like your wishes coming true. Which, if this is your wish, what the fuck, right? Because the reason I say if this is your wish is because of the law of cause and effect, the law of vibration, the law of, right, attraction. It's like you attract what you feel, what you are. And what you feel is what you are, especially with emotional authority. So your wishes are coming true. This is also about achievements. So there's an aspect of this. It's like, are you forgetting how much work you've done? Are you forgetting that part of yourself, right? Yeah, it's one little switch. 7 of Swords. Stop lying to yourself. We're just going like, we're just going with Dawn because, you know, she's my friend. 9 of Wands. Yes, you've gone through a lot, and yes, you are wary. That's what this means. You were wary. You're like, I don't know about that. However, it's all in your head. And the way to move on is you got to walk away from there's a belief system. The swords are a belief system. Right? Your mind will never give you the answers that you actually need. So it's time to walk away. And this is an emotional frequency too, because they're on a boat and it's water, right? They're on water, but it's in your head, but it's in the head. So to move away from the choppy waters to the calm waters, you have to let go of the belief systems that are keeping you so constricted and so tight. It's fear, right? It's fear. Oh, okay, here we go. 7 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. Okay. When you walk away, when you succeed from letting go of those belief systems and ideas that are like the moping story, right? Like, poor me, poor me. When you let go of the belief system behind what's making you be afraid and constrict everything, you're actually going to recognize like, wow, this is the truth. Like, the 9 of Pentacles is abundance. The 7 of Pentacles is you pause and you look and you acknowledge the work you've done. But it will take like really walking away from those old belief systems and from the past. So that's the energy right now. The question that you asked was, find it again. Okay, what is coming up for you the next month? Well, this is like a energy that's currently happening right now. And what is coming up is you're facing the fear, right? You are having to like move forward despite the fear. You're having to like trust in your own abilities, in your own skills, and you're having to acknowledge how far you've come. You will feel abundant in the end, but the process it's in the mind. It's really in the mind. It's just the give up control, no planning, just let it happen. Well, there's like like you've done yeah, exactly. Like you've done the work. You have there's a lot, but getting stuck in the past is not gonna work, right? Getting stuck in the fear is not gonna work. You get the crocodile, the phoenix, and the deer. So ultimately, this is about stepping into grace and gentleness. Obviously, you're going to be going through a rebirth, and we all know who Kom Ombo is. Our friend, Sobek. Our little friend Sobek is here to guide you. You got to swim in the pool with the crocodiles, remember? Face your shadows, transmute them, rise like the phoenix, and step into your gentleness. You need to be gentle with yourself. The deer teaches us gentleness, grace, right? The Sphinx. Yeah, I literally just said the Sphinx. You know where my mind's at. The phoenix rises from the ashes, and the crocodile, or at least in our perspective, Kom Ombo, guides you through the darkness. So, if you study really hard and you memorize every little detail, you'll pass the test. Sorry, that was me being funny. Okay, so there we go. The crocodile is the one that I'm being drawn to. So I want to actually read about the crocodile for you. I think it's a water. Ooh, okay, so it's water, spirit, and earth. So the crocodile is water, the phoenix is spirit, and the deer is earth. So it's like water. Submerge yourself in the emotions, the water. Rise into the spirit realm like the phoenix, and then ground yourself again, but this time in your grace. Yep, the 22nd. I know you're thinking about it. The crocodile. Where are you, crocodile? Oh, resting, submerging, and collecting energy, cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Yep, okay. Now is not the time for decisions, action, or discussion. Basically, you got to feel first. Water is emotions. The crocodile's mantra is wait. That's hilarious. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing, and building energy. Fill up the vital reserves so your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. Fuck yeah. Because the next move is the phoenix, and the phoenix leads into the deer. So, there you go. Thank you. That was awesome. Thanks for asking for a tarot reading. I really love doing tarot readings. They're like way too much fun for me. Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you everybody that got a reading today. I love doing them. I'm not really doing them that often now because there's too much going on. I'm doing like 3 to 5 readings a day right now with people, and it is so freaking it is draining. Yes, it fulfills me. Yes, I'm grateful. Yes, it's amazing. But this is the reason why I haven't really been doing this kind of stuff, because I'm like literally all day, every day doing readings. And I love that I'm getting to help people and bring awareness. And like, this has been like my dream, right? But these mini readings on YouTube will probably be a rare thing from now on. However, I do want to say thank you to everybody that did get a reading today. I hope that it served you, that you got insight from it, I know, dude. Every day, Monday through Friday, nonstop. And sometimes on the weekends. And then on the weekends, I have moon goddess training and astrology school and broadcasts, ceremonies, I live it and breathe it. And that was, I prayed for this. So my vacation is coming. My vacation is literally going to Egypt. Again, I have not stopped working since I got back from Egypt. Like every day. Like literally there was no days off. I had maybe like 2 days off where I had to catch up with things that I was behind on. So they weren't really days off. I have gotten used to it. I'm like, damn. But this literally stops when I go to Egypt for 2 weeks. Like that will be my freaking vacation. It's not even a vacation because I'm faculty and so I'm technically working, right? Like it's not free, right? It's not like a free ride. It's invitation to show up, which I love it. But I don't have to do all the things that I've been doing here, which are like seriously draining, which is like, oh, thank God. Thank you, Lord. Everything is magic. Exactly, because I'm fulfilling my purpose. Exactly. I love that you guys had fun tonight. Again, thank you so much. Check out. So when I get Egypt's coming up soon, you guys. I leave here on the 5th. I arrive on the 8th. Yeah, I think I arrive on the 8th. I leave on the 7th, I arrive on the 8th. The program starts on the 9th. It goes until the 20th. And then I come back. I get back on the 21st. So thanks, Diane. So there will be like a little pause also in like the broadcasts. I was going to try to do, I really want to do though a video for at least like an astrology video for the full moon in Scorpio, because that is going to be a really important one. And it's actually happening on my only defined channel. Like Dawn was asking me, my husband was asking me today, like, what is the purpose, what is the deeper meaning behind all of this that's going on right in your life? Like, he's like, how does it feel? He asked me today, he's like, how does it feel like to be living the dream? And I paused and I looked for a second and I was like, what did I say? I know it's like, took me a minute. I was like, it's like, it doesn't feel any different because I'm doing the same things that I've been doing for years. I'm doing more of it. It's more focused, right? It's like, yes, helping, being of service, like, like teaching people about themselves. That has always been my passion. And so I told him, I was like, what I feel is like, I feel like there's less stress in my life now. Yes, there's a lot more work. But there's a lot less stress. And that is phenomenal because it's been a long time. And also, that full moon is literally happening on my only defined channel. And I'm like, dude. So I want to do that broadcast. I want to look into it and I want to like save it to upload it closer. So there's like some video coming out while I'm gone. But yeah, there'll be a little bit of a pause. So follow me on Instagram at Channel for Grace, because I'll be posting like pictures and stuff like that from the trip. But I can't freaking wait. So thank you. I will be here Sunday we'll watch the Christopher Witecki podcast that I did with him. We'll do our ceremony on Sunday nights. I'll be back, Monday for the weekly reading. And then that's when it'll get a little bit quieter. So if you want to follow the story, follow me on Instagram. But I'll see you guys in the next few days. So Sat Nam, have a good one, and see you soon. Hopefully in Sedona.